The difference is, isn't a laugh a laugh?
Yes, but there are different types of jokes, and so like Jerry loves that. Like you're saying, Jerry loves jokes that, in essence, this is almost what Jerry's saying. Jerry loves jokes that can work regardless of who tells them and where they're told. Now, the skill of the comedian will determine how well the joke can do, but it's still a joke.
Right.
So, for instance, Jerry Seinfeld has some jokes that a guy in an office could go and tell to his office mates, and it may still get a laugh because of how well crafted that joke is.
So
it's
when
so
Jerry
brilliant.
makes a brilliant joke about
Exactly.
Pop-Tarts,
Exactly.
you could tell that anyone
you
can
go
that.
tell that joke, and it is a joke that lives. I've read Jerry's jokes in books, and they're brilliant.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But then, for instance, Dave Chappelle has jokes about life and jokes about that pertain to, it's a thing that happened to him. He went out to buy a shotgun. That's Dave Chappelle.
Right.
So you in your office can't be like, I went out to buy. No, you didn't.
That now I understand.
You get what I'm saying?
Thank you.
That's the big difference.
And then when you separate out your stand-up material from the Daily Show material, the Daily Show material is really about the news.
It's
not timeless.
It needs the news story for the joke to be attached to.
Needs a setup.
Exactly. It's the little remora fish that swims next to the shark. That's what I'm doing the entire time on the show.
Got it.
The news is the shark, and then all my little jokes are swimming with those jokes, just feeding off what's happening in the news. But in my stand-up, that's why I do I've had people who come to my show. I've had people who come and go. They're Republicans or conservative, and they go like, "I like your stand-up, but I don't like the Daily Show."
Right, because your stand-up are jokes.
Yeah, they go, "I like this because it has nothing to. It's not based on the news."
And yet, when you talk about your set that you did on Letterman, when you first, you get your shot on Letterman,
right?
It was about South Africa growing up. Yeah. There is your experience.
Oh
there.
yeah, no, it's fully my experience.
Yeah. You speak 6 languages?
5 fluently, but 6, yes.
No kidding. Were you this brilliant student?
No, I was horrible.
I equate learning language with high IQ. Have you ever had your IQ tested?
I've never, no.
Never?
No.
Don't you think that it's a very difficult thing to learn 6 complete languages?
I think it's more musical than it is intelligent, to be honest.
How do you learn these languages? Did you sit down?
Well, I was lucky. My family. My mom speaks 9. Who am I?
9 languages.
Who am I? I mean, come on. I'm an underachiever in the family.
When your life is, this is why I find it remarkable that you have a positive attitude. Because when I look at your life and I see where you came from, it's remarkable that you can keep your head straight. Because your mother decides to have a baby, and she goes out and is looking for a guy to have a baby with. And in South Africa, she goes and finds a white guy.
Yep.
Who lives, down the hall?
Yep.
And this guy's from what, Sweden or
Switzerland? Yeah,
from Switzerland.
Yeah.
And she says, "Hey, I need to make a baby. It's my time. My clock is running."
No, not even. It wasn't even clock.
It was just she wanted a baby.
She was really young. She didn't even want. She wanted something that would be hers. She had lived in a world where nothing was hers, and she wanted her thing that she could love and that would love her unconditionally.
Why would she go in South Africa?
Yes.
A country fresh with apartheid.
Right.
Why the fuck would she go to a white guy? Because in my mind, you'd think she'd say to herself, my son's going to have a hard time being a mixed race in...
I don't think she thought that far. My mom, in that moment, only thought, the government says I'm not allowed to be with a white guy. And she's like, well, then I'm going to be with a white guy.
And the white guy, wasn't he afraid of this situation? That, hey, maybe this woman's crazy. She's going to come after me for money. She's going to... No,
I think my dad as well. He's an interesting... He's extremely Swiss. And he's Swiss-German, which is like the ultimate combination of precision in life. He is a completely logical human being to a fault sometimes. So he didn't understand apartheid. He doesn't understand racism in that way. Like my favorite thing my dad said, because I asked him once, I said, hey, you are with a black woman in South Africa. There's racism everywhere. And I was like, what, how are you thinking about this? And then he's like, Trevor, he says, to be honest, and he says, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand all these people racist. If you're going to be racist, then Africa is the worst place to come, huh? You got to come. You hate the black people, so you come to Africa. What are you doing?
Right.
You're just making life better for yourself.
Surrounded by what you hate.
And I was like, that is a brilliant way to think of it. He's like, why would you come to Africa if you hate black people?
Yeah.
It is safe to say this is the worst place for you to be. So he just did not. He was like, yeah, I love rolling with black people. I love hanging out in Africa. I love the weather. This is where I'm going to be.
But think about in your life, if a woman came up to you and said, listen, I want to have a baby, and, there's no romantic love there or anything like that. And would you ever, in your right mind, say, "Hey, okay, I'll have sex with you, and you'll have your baby, and then I'll leave"? I mean,
I think